Once again, the gospel according to Luke, the 15th chapter, beginning with the 25th and 32nd verse. I'm going to ask that you might read it responsibly with me also this morning. Amen. Are we ready, this church family? I shall begin. Now his eldest son was in the field, and he came and drew nigh to the house. He heard much singing and dancing. 26. And he said unto him, Thy brother is come, and thy father has killed the fattest calf, because he has received him safe and sound. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I have served thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. 32 together. It was meant that we should make merry and be glad, for thy brother was dead, and is alive again, and was lost, and is found. Amen. You may be seated. Church family, for a little while I want to speak to you from the subject, lost and found. Amen. Say with me, lost and found. Somebody ought to say that one more time, lost and found. Now we've read this chapter this morning, so all I want to do is tell you a story. Every now and then we ought to go back to how it used to be when we were at Mommy's them house, when they would tell us a story. You see, when you tell a story, you just make it plain. You talk plain talk, not shop talk. You get it so that even little Johnny and Grandma Lily and even the scholar can understand the story. Amen? This story is not an unusual story. This story is one that Jesus was using as a parable of understanding, that his disciples and those that are around him might come to a conclusion about a whole lot of matters. You know, sometimes we forget from which we come. Oh, am I talking to anybody this morning? Sometimes we forget about how God has started us in one direction, and where we are right now isn't because we've been so good. Isn't because we've done everything right. It's not because we said all of the right thing or went to all of the right places. We're here only because of grace and mercy. Amen. You ought to tell somebody right next to you, say, grace and mercy sit next to you. Grace and mercy sit next to you. Amen. Because sometimes we get it, as the kids say, twisted. We think our degrees got us the job. Come on now. We think our resume got us the job. We think it was the black book, you know, the one we knew who made the phone call for, that got us the job. When in essence, it was God himself that spoke a word on our behalf in due season. And we were able to be whom we are today, with our name on the door, with a big desk and a window somewhere looking over the lake. Can I get a window? Yeah. But God always starts some of us from humble beginnings. In this text we find a young man whom has come to his father. And he said some simple words to his father. Father, give me the portion that belongs to me right now. Now that part got to me a little bit. Because see, I grew up in a home with parents that I had to say yes sir and no sir. Yes ma'am and no sir. Can I get a witness? And I never ordered them to do anything. I made requests, or I alluded to in my own little secret way, you know, that they would get an understanding, but I never said right now. Can I get a witness? See, this young man, sometime when I've heard this text, has got a bad rap. It made it seem as though he was so highfalutin on living the fancy life that he just wanted his money. Well, first of all, it really wasn't his money, because according to the way the Jews operated, if you were the elder son, you were entitled to the inheritance. And inheritance didn't come till daddy died. And inheritance was not for the sisters, it was for the older brother. And it was the older brother's responsibility, if you had property, if you had money, if you had cattle, to take care of the whole family. And everybody was served proportionately. Amen. But this young man, something had happened. Amen. I don't know what happened, and I don't want to speculate that much, but I know he always gets a bad rap in this text. But let me just for a moment just think about a thought. You know, it might have been because some stuff was going down at the house that he kind of got fed up with. Can I get a witness? You know how it is. There's some stuff going on at your house. Can I get a witness where you got a child that feel like they're being slighted? Because sometimes we got favors, am I right? Oh, come on now. I know I'm talking to somebody that got a favorite child. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that can get our last dime. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that get the big tennis shoes. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that get the coat when everybody else can't get it. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that get a watch when nobody else get one. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that get to go to the show and nobody else. You know the one I'm talking about. And the siblings are sometimes left in a place where they wonder, what's wrong with mama and daddy? Don't they know I'm here? And see, I speak from that very fluently because I was the one. I was the one when daddy and them went shopping. I don't care what they say. I could whine and ask for some stuff, and I got my stuff. I was the one when I was a little boy. I wore leather coats and I wore nice pants and all. Don't get me wrong. Our family had some stuff. Can I get a witness? But I knew how to ask. I knew how to cry and whine. Amen. And you know what? God fixed it. I got a daughter named KK just like that. I said no, pulling it out of my pocket. Can I get a witness? This lad somehow had got fed up with some things, and he called a conference with his father. He said, Father, not give me everything, because he knew entitlement. He knew what entitlement meant. Now, I believe he knew how much was coming to him, because he had no calculation of mind to know really what was his. But he did say, give me the portion that belongs to me now. Can I get a witness? And you know what? You got to be careful for what you ask for, because you'll get it. Can I get a witness? I said you got to be careful what you ask for. See, some of us come to God any kind of way. And we ask God for all kind of stuff. And then when God gives it to us, we all upset.